let's go ahead and move on to the Los Angeles Rams. They had a pretty tough 2023 or 2022 when it comes to the injury bug. I want
Yeah,
to
that's putting
say,
it tough. Tough is putting it lightly. That is
yeah,
putting it very,
I
very
want to
lightly.
say at one point they had 5 completely different starters on the offensive line than those who started in week 1. Matt Stafford didn't end up finishing the year. Cooper Kupp didn't finish the year.
Yeah.
It was just really, really rough
Yeah.
week
Yeah,
or rough
and
year.
adding on to that offensive line point, they had 13 different offensive linemen with 70-plus snaps,
Yeah.
which is absolutely insane.
Yeah.
And I think I want to just confirm my stats here. Cooper Kupp only played in 9 games
Yeah.
this year. He was their leading receiver with receptions. Oh, and touchdowns.
Yeah.
By a significant mark. Receptions, he had 3 more receptions than the next guy, Tyler Higbee, and then also about 200 yards more
Yeah.
receiving yards than the next guy,
Yeah.
Tyler Higbee. So, and then on top of that, going into this offseason, we're talking about the offensive line, similar to the Cardinals. I'm counting 5 guys that had significant playing time that are hitting free agency, and their cap space is negative $14.2 million.
Yeah.
So,
They are not in a good situation when it comes to free agency. I mean, it's not looking good. Draft capital wise, hold on, let me find them really fast.
draft capital wise, they don't have a first. Their first one's a second. Their first pick is in the second round.
Okay. Yeah, they have only 6 picks, 3 of which are in the 6th round and a 7th. And then so they have a 2, 3, 3 6s and then a 7. That's pretty bad. That's about as bad as I think it is in this draft for any team.
You only have them as 6 picks.
Yeah,
you said
2, 3, 3 6s and a 7.
Okay, I thought they had more than that.
No, they traded a first, a 4th, a 5th, 2 other 6s and a 7th.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Either way, they do not have much power or maneuverability, and so I'm trying to find something positive to say about. I guess like Sean McVay's coming back.
Yeah.
But even then, I look at their defensive line or just their defense, and they have some free agencies. Nothing really went super well for them this past year. This is another team similar to the Cardinals. It is a full-on rebuild mode for this team.
This is the risk that you take when you go all in for a Super Bowl midseason. The trade for Von Miller, then pushing his contract further down the road, and then Aaron Donald, Matt Stafford, Odell Beckham, all those guys' contracts are kind of bumping up the cap space for years down the road. And so now they're in the situation where they're having a lot of guys hitting free agency and they can't really afford to pay them. I mean, even like depth wise, they're going to lose so many players.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a really interesting offseason for the Los Angeles Rams.
Well, and here's the thing. So like I'm looking at now because they're at the negative 14 million. They're going to have to obviously sign some people to put a somewhat competent team on the field. But the guy to me that I immediately look at getting moved and traded is going to be Jalen Ramsey. If they trade him with a post June 1st, I guess what's what I'm looking for? Just
cut.
No. There's if they trade him after June 1st. And they can designate it for that date. Like it won't go into effect until that day. It looks like it saves $17 million in their cap space, and so that's another one. I think that teams can give them a 3rd or 4th round pick for this guy just to clear up the cap space.
Because he's 30 now.
He's
close. 29?
He's close. He is up there. 29.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and he still have a couple of years left on his contract. And he was, according to PFF, as much as it is fun to rag on him, he was the third best corner this past season.
Yeah.
So there is a lot of value for him. Actually, I say third or fourth round. That's actually not high enough. I think teams
second plus.
I could see second plus
because he's a 29-year-old corner who needs to play in a very specific type of system to really be successful. Because we saw what kind of happened with him when they played a little bit more off man or zone coverage with him, and he loses assignments behind him. That's a part of the reason why the Bills were able to take advantage of them last year.
Yeah. They did not. He did not look good in that game. Didn't look good in the Super Bowl either. And so I do think he can provide some value, but that to me, I could see them just trading him, kind of getting rid of whatever they can. I would say there's other guys on here as well, but they've already cut Bobby Wagner, and so that actually helped out a lot with their for post June 1st. Bobby Wagner saved $8 million. So actually, that number should be their salary cap should be less now. Should be about negative $6 million. And depending on if they did other moves, we're recording this Saturday, February 26th. So this has been
Sunday.
Like a really gloomy. Sunday. Sorry, it's been a really gloomy
outlook for the
Rams. Yeah. Congrats on your Super Bowl. I guess as a Falcons fan, considering the fact that what we've been through the past couple of years, it would be much more worth it if we won a Super Bowl. But it really is tough to look at. But it's like they need to address everything. They need to improve the offensive line. They were 25th overall. They need to improve the defense, really outside Aaron Donald. Leonard Floyd had a really good year. He had 9 sacks. But other than that, though, this defense was struggling. And then offensively, they have no one else outside Cooper Kupp. Cam Akers I think it was a rebound year for sure, coming off his Achilles injury in the summer of 2021.
He doesn't look the same.
It does not look the same, which isn't surprising. I mean, the fact that he was able to come back and play in the Super Bowl was actually quite impressive. But it is just a full-on rebuild, and they don't really have too much maneuverability. And so going into 2023,
they need to clear cap space.
I don't know what they would do.
Trade guys for draft assets, get younger, and rebuild this team from the trenches out. Because frankly, Matt Stafford, who's 34 now, I think 34, 35. He can't take the hits. He was like the most sacked quarterback through the first 10 weeks in NFL history last year. And you can't be doing that to a 34, 35-year-old quarterback.
Or just in general, you don't want your quarterback getting hit. True. But and so they need to address that as well. It's and also in the queue, and I think with whatever money they have, I bet they re-signed Baker. I think he's going to be a good backup just within that system, just as a kind of an insurance policy.
I actually think they might get outbid for Baker.
Really? Who's going to outbid? Who's going to pay for Baker, though?
Teams like Tampa Bay.
He could go start at Tampa. He could.
Yeah, and I think Baker's going to want to go and get a starting job somewhere. So
just trying to get as much money as possible.
Well, true, but I think he wants to play. I don't think he wants to sit behind Matt Stafford in LA. So,
no.
I think that's going to wrap up the Rams, though. Kind of like what you said, it's hard to find a positive in the Rams organization right now.
It's hard to find a positive, and it is hard to really break down what they need to address because they need to address everything. And so, outside of receiver one, they have receiver one lockdown. But it's going to be tough 2023, I think, for the Rams. Would be very shocked if they have a winning record next year. But